Okay, let's talk about one of the major theories, the prime theory, the seminal theory on how to balance your bonds and stocks or your debt and equity in a firm. This is done by two professors, two scholars named Modigliani and Miller, and it's aptly named MM theory or M&M theory. And so Modigliani and Miller came up with the theory that the market value of a firm is determined by its earning power and the risk of its underlying assets, and that value is independent of the way it chooses to finance its investments or distribute dividends. Now, so it doesn't matter if you put 100% stock or 100% debt and 100% equity. It doesn't matter. You can do 50-50, 60-40, 70-30. The underlying assets should be priced appropriately. The stock price will be the same. The debt price will be the same. It has nothing to do with the value of the firm. When you combine the two, the value should be the same. Now, having said that, the example, and people often quote this example, is if you went to a farmer and said, okay, I have milk, and milk can be separated into the milk fat or the cream, and then you've got the other milk that doesn't have as much cream in it. Well, cream is more expensive than whole milk, so you take the cream to the top and you sell off the cream at a higher price. Well, what's left over, you would sell at a lower price, so the two prices should be equal. And if the two prices are equal, if you sell milk for, I don't know, $3 a gallon, and you sell cream for $2 a gallon, and you sell skim milk for $1 a gallon, they're equal, and it doesn't matter how you proportion them out. That's what you end up selling is $3 a gallon. This would be true if all these assumptions are true. So given the following assumptions, we have homogeneous expectations. In other words, expectations are uniform. We have business risk that is homogeneous, uniform business risk. We have perpetual capital flows. In other words, we don't have any limit on capital formation or capital movement. And we have perfect capital markets, which is perfect competition. Firms and investors can borrow and lend at the same rate, equal access to all relevant information, no transaction costs, and the biggest one I think is at the bottom, no taxes. Well, of course, we do write off taxes on our debt, and that does influence the difference. So if we go back to the farm analogy, it would be like saying that cream sells for $2 a gallon and skim milk sells for $1 a gallon, which equals the $3 whole milk price, except we pay taxes on the cream and we don't pay taxes on anything else. You'd go, oh, well, cream at $2 minus 50% taxes, $1.50, plus the dollar on the skim milk is $2.50. I should sell the whole milk for $3 because I don't pay taxes on it. So you can see that their theory holds if everything is equal and uniform and perfect. The minute it isn't, their theory kind of falls apart. And so in reality, it does matter what your stock and bond, your equity debt equity ratio is, because it's going to affect your firm value. And one of the ways it's going to affect your firm value is in cash flow. And of course, we know cash is king. So we're going to get into that next. But I wanted to take just a moment to get a hold of Modigliani and Miller because they are the seminal work in this field, Nobel Prize winners. This is very important stuff to get a hold of. Is you would think it shouldn't matter. You should be able to sell it in parts, or the parts should equal the whole. That's not true if you throw in things such as taxes and other things that change the way the market works. So let's talk about that next.